Kazakhstan climbed up in the Doing Business ranking. The World Bank has increased Kazakhstan's position in the ease of doing business by 3 points. The country ranked 25th out of 190 countries, outpacing Iceland, Austria, Russia, Japan, and Spain. This is a result of the government's systematic work to reform legislation, simplify the processes for starting a business, as well as to optimize state control and oversight activities. The position of each state is determined by the aggregate assessments of several indicators, including international trade, obtainment of a construction permit, access to the infrastructure, protection of rights of minority investors, as well as taxation. Baku hosted a meeting of foreign ministers on the eve of the 18th Summit of State Leaders and the Government of member countries of the non-aligned movement. Kazakhstan takes part in the conference as an observer country, where it will outline its priorities for ensuring security in the world. One of the practical steps for nuclear non-proliferation in Kazakhstan is the opening of the Bank of Low-Enriched Uranium.
Поэтому Казахстан полностью разделяет и основополагающие принципы и ценности движения неприсоединения.
Therefore, Kazakhstan fully supports the fundamental values of the non-aligned movement. Kazakhstan's address lies in implementing practical steps and measures to bring the world closer to liberation from the threat of nuclear weapons. In this regard, the Treaty on the Ban of Nuclear Weapons is being ratified. To date, 32 countries have ratified the treaty. 50 ratifications are required to make this treaty a new legal norm.
Страны ратифицировали, и требуется 50 ратификаций для того, чтобы этот договор стал новой юридической нормой.
Kazakh and Belarusian entrepreneurs held discussion on cooperation issues and determined prospective projects and industries. Nur-Sultan hosted a business forum where 200 representatives of business circles of the two countries took part. The parties signed a number of agreements worth several $1 million on projects which will be implemented in agricultural machinery engineering, agricultural complex, light and goods industries, medicine, and IT. In recent years, there is a steady growth of trade turnover volumes between the two states. About 350 enterprises are operating in Kazakhstan with participation of Belarusian investments.
Казахстан ждет инвестиций в сфере машиностроения. Это, конечно, в первую очередь. Также необходимо отметить, что в легкой промышленности.
Kazakhstan expects investments in machinery engineering and light industry. Belarus expects prospective projects in agricultural complex and light industry as well. Joint construction of Belarusian automobile factory and dump trucks are planned to be launched this year and next year.
В этом году строительство совместного производства БелАЗа, самосвалов.
3 stages of selection for the Presidential Youth Staff Reserve have been completed. Today, applicants have submitted their documents and they have also taken a test as well as undergone verification testing. All selection procedures were held in accordance with the formation rules for the reserve, which are approved by the decree of the President of Kazakhstan. Over 13,000 applicants applied during the initial registration to take part in the selection. More than 7,000 people have submitted their full application. Candidates include 46 people who reside beyond the territory of Kazakhstan. Most of these applicants live in Russia, the USA, the UK, and Turkey. The final decision on admission to the reserve will be made by the National Commission. The test is aimed at determining the skill sets of applicants to work with complex information. The test consisted of 2 sections, verbal and numerical. The test determined the level of people's analytical and critical thinking, as well as the level of logic. 5,745 candidates took part in the test. Results of the stage were calculated automatically. The applicants are going through the next stage, which is the assessment of potential. The participants will be interviewed by the end of November. Greece authorities transfer refugees from overcrowded camps located on the islands to the mainland. The camps could cater to 650 people. However, the total number of people living there is 10 times more. Nearly 700 refugees were transferred from Samos Island to Eleusis port. More than 20,000 refugees arrived to Greece on August and September. Currently, about 34,000 migrants live in 5 camps on the islands. The United States supports the protesters' call on conducting economic reforms in Lebanon. This was announced by representatives of the U.S. Department of State. The protests in Lebanon continue for several days. The coalition government offered an anti-crisis plan to resolve the situation. It promised to increase the taxes on bank income as well as abolish the reduction in social benefits. However, the demonstrators demand resignation of the government, dissolution of parliament, and they are calling for early elections. One person died while 5 went missing and dozens were evacuated following floods and landslides in Catalonia, which was caused by heavy rains. About 24,000 homes left without electricity. Schools were closed in the region, while trains were disrupted, as well as majority of the roads were blocked. Rescuers received over 2,000 calls only in one day. The harvesting of walnuts is nearing completion in Kyrgyzstan. The republic is one of the largest walnut exporters to member countries of the Eurasian Economic Union. In recent years, both the volumes and territory of exports have expanded significantly. Accordingly, revenues have also increased from $2 million to $7 million. A truck with 20 tons of the products is delivered to Turkey. We work with many walnut producers in the Commonwealth of Independent States. We like the products from Kyrgyzstan. These walnuts have the highest fat content, which is up to 70%. Walnuts are sold in 2 forms, either whole or peeled. The peeled walnuts are 3 times more expensive. Usually, the peeled nuts are bought by large firms. The nuts are exported after packaging. The whole and peeled walnuts are transported to special wholesale markets, located not far from the plantations. I brought my friends here who were collecting nuts. Then I started looking for large buyers from Turkey. Today, people are used to this place, and now this place is known to everyone. The high demand for agricultural products is evidenced by the sale, which is completed within a couple of hours. There is always a demand for organic and environmentally friendly walnuts from Kyrgyzstan. Topics of wealth of Asia and beauty of East are inspiring for well-known artist Talgat Mirakhimov. Any willing person will see this at his personal exhibition, which was recently opened in the Kyrgyz National Museum of Fine Arts in Bishkek. Each of the paintings, which depict layering of a centuries-old culture, will bring visitors to the original atmosphere of multicultural Asia. At the same time, Talgat Mirakhimov depicts the characters in an interesting technique of associative figures and uses it in his numerous sceneries.
Конечно, без природы, без пейзажев, которые должны, я писал, буду писать, потому что она...
Nature and scenery are the bread and butter for artists. Therefore, I paint and will continue to paint further. It enriches color for the artists. Nature should always be addressed and painted more often because it nourishes the viewers with luggage and color.
И все вот, гениальные художники, они тоже почаще обращались, даже жили с природой. Оттуда брали все.
At first, Talgat Mirakhimov worked as a designer. However, the craving for creativity made him paint his own works. Paintings filled with philosophical meaning reflect his personal view of the world as an artist.
Поэтому он тоже писал и писал маленькие этюды сначала, потом влился в группу.
Therefore, at first, he also made some sketches. Then he joined a group of artists who were older than him. Together, they went to exhibitions in different regions of Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan and gained experience. He continued to work in the art fund to provide for his family. His individuality and strength are that he had a great thirst for creativity.
Индивидуальность его в том, и сила его в том, что у него была огромная жажда творчества.
Talgat Mirahimov's works became a real discovery for European art admirers. The artist said that he generated the interest of foreign audience with the Turkic spirit, which was depicted in many sceneries, still life and portraits. At the same time, it was not a fixed reality, it was an art reality. Talgat Mirahimov became famous and mainly an original author due to his philosophical approach to the image of simple things. The Tourism Association of the East Kazakhstan region has developed unique activities for tourists. The tourists can experience the lifestyles of nomads and even primitive people. They can also learn new crafts or experience being a Khan. Experts said that the unique project, The Lost Country of Nomads, will showcase all the possibilities of the region to the new tourists.
Через 10 лет Катон-Карагай
In 10 years, Katon Karagai will give so many emotions for tourists. For example, tourists will visit the ethno village where they can purchase clothes of that era and even settle in one of the yurts. The tourists can also imitate a blacksmith assistant.
Например, помощником кузнеца.
Katon Karagai is the heart of Altai in Kazakhstan. According to data gathered by scientists, the ancestral home of the Turkic civilization was located at this very place. The Beryl Mounds prove this fact. This is one of the main tourism brands of the east of the republic. Currently, Katon Karagai is known only for summer tourism. Tree horns are cut in the summer, which is the main activity during the season. Many tourists come to receive treatment in deer farms, to bathe in antler bathtubs, as well as to travel. In addition, we also need to develop winter tourism. There will be further improvements for the existing tourism facilities. Among the developments include expansion of services and better quality. Entrepreneurs have invested the first 500 million tenge for the development of interesting projects in the area. Justification for the tourism investment is made. The state also supports the projects. Tourism revenue is expected to be increased by about 100 times. Experts forecasted that the tourism industry will generate 30% of the republic's budget. Historical and cultural monuments of the Golden Horde era are being studied in detail. European and Japanese labs are carrying out the genetic analysis of the remains from the Ulitau famous burials, including mausoleums of Bolgan Ana, Joshi, and Alasha Khans. The preliminary results were announced at an international scientific conference in Karagandi. Radiocarbon analysis was used to study the burial site of Bolgan Ana, and the technology helped to determine that there was a high-ranking lady who used to live there in the early 14th century. She was about 40 years old. Her headdress was an attribute of a married woman, which is the only item discovered and preserved in Kazakhstan. As part of the conference, participants will visit Ulitau region and visit the historical sites. The event was held as part of the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity program and dedicated to the 750th anniversary of the Golden Horde. We are conducting a research not only on the Kazakh Khanate, but also on a number of previous states. These are our entire heritage that we should preserve and the history that we should remember. We are considered as the descendants of the empire of Genghis Khan and Joshi Khan. It is necessary for us to take measures on the restoration of historical monuments that will contribute to the development of the region and will reflect on tourism potential of the region. Of course, this is cost-effective for us.
Туристтер келе бастайды. Бұның бәрі өзінің экономикалық жағынан да тиімділігі бар біз үшін.
Voice of Nur-Sultan International Festival will be hosted in the capital of Kazakhstan. The event, organized with the support of Ministry of Culture and Sports, will be attended by singers from Kazakhstan, Russia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Georgia, Portugal, China, and Azerbaijan. The event will be held for the second time in Nur-Sultan, but this time in the festival format. Foreign participants will perform Kazakh songs in duet with Kazakh celebrities. The goal of the project is to develop the cultural image and promotion of Kazakh musical creativity. The festival will be held with the information support by Khabar agency.
Қазан айының 25-26 күндері Хабар арнасы мен Қазақ ТВ телеарнасы Voice of Nur-Sultan.
Khabar channel and Kazakh TV will broadcast live the new show, Voice of Nur-Sultan, on October 25th and 26th. Khabar channel will air the show to the local viewers and Kazakh TV to foreign viewers. Another feature is that the project will also be broadcasted on Russian television channel and in other countries to show the participants both during live and during recordings.
бізбен қатар осы жобаны тікелей эфирде және жазба түрінде өз аудиториясына ұсынбақшы.
Мен осы жобада
On this project, we performed the song Bird's Way in a duet with a Ukrainian performer, a beautiful girl, Alina Bashkina, the author of the words and music of which is Tolegen Muhamedjanov. I'm very happy that I had the honor to represent our country, our national pop art on this wonderful project.
жұмыстарының атынан келіп осындай келіп өнер көрсетіп отқаныма мен де қуаныштымын.